Hello, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Level Up with Gal. I'm your host, Gal Pereno. Welcome back if you are returning, and also welcome if you're brand new to the freaking tribe, where we are here to help each other level up in anything and everything we do, to share stories and tips and tricks to help you implement them into your life so you can do better and show up better. How freaking amazing is that, right? So today I want to dive in with you and talk about how we impact other people, and as well as impact our own lives, and how we can do that by just going through the motions of our day, our lives. You don't have to do something completely out of the box to be able to start impacting other people. And something that I love so much, and as I've continued to work on myself and increase my level of vibration, right? And I'll explain a little bit what I mean by that. I have been starting to attract different kind of people. We are a mirror. People are a mirror of us. We are attracting our own kind of energy, our own kind of vibe. Call it energy, call it vibe, same thing. So if we are operating from lower energy and a lower frequency, right, we are going to attract that kind of energy as well. So for example, if you are let's say lower energy, where you're more sad, you're depressed, you're not normally in a good mood, you get irritated easily, you're 99% most of the time annoyed, right? You're lower energy. And it's just about knowing where you're at so you can start to improve, to increase your energy. So if you're lower energy, right, and you're looking for a partner and you really want a partner, and you keep attracting these partners that aren't so good, okay, or don't treat you well, and they use you, or the relationships just don't necessarily, it's not warm and fuzzy, it's not the best thing in the world. Well, it's because you're attracting that kind of energy. What you're putting out, you are attracting back. See what I'm saying? That's literally how it works, right? Like even in a promotion, maybe you're like, I deserve that promotion, right? A lot of times we think we deserve something that we don't deserve, but sometimes we do deserve something, then it's not in alignment, and maybe because it's just not the right time yet for us, right? It's all about what's actually happening within the situation. So if you have had past relationships, or maybe you're in a current relationship where it's just not exactly peachy key, where it's just difficult and you butt heads a lot, one, could just be a bad partner. Two, you're also attracting that, okay? Or maybe you notice a trend, right, where you're attracting partners that just don't treat you well. And what does that say about the common denominator? That's you. You're the common denominator. So when you change who you are and the energy coming off of you, you're going to start to attract different kind of people. And you're going to start to attract the person that you want and how you actually want to be treated. But one, you have to know, what kind of partner do you want? Two, you have to work on yourself so you can attract the partner that you've been longing for so long, right? So for example, I was in a relationship a long time ago. My partner was not the best partner, okay? I tried to talk myself to think that he was the best partner for me, but he really wasn't, okay? But I want to give you some details so you kind of see where I'm going with this. And he just didn't treat me well. And he ended up cheating on me, and I found out, and I was heartbroken. Of course, right? Anybody would be. And then that relationship ended, and I started like dating another person, another guy, and there was like similar, like, what's the word I'm trying to find here? There was similar things in their personality, similar personality traits. There we go. But they were not exactly the same person, but it was still similar, right? Did I change a little bit between those relationships? Yes, a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but I attracted another person that wasn't necessarily an amazing partner either, okay? So I didn't realize that then in the moment, but looking back, I was attracting those kind of partners, and that partner also cheated on me as well. So I'm like, this freaking sucks. Of course it sucks. But it really pushed me to take a look at myself, like, what is going on? Why am I attracting these kind of people? And what can I do to change so I can attract a better partner? Fast forward, after that, I ended up meeting, my husband, and we've been together since then. But my husband was the type of partner that was nothing like my other partners. Okay. That's why I want to share that example. And that's just one example. But the other thing I do want to share on this topic and why I share that story is because it all starts with us. It starts with the energy we're getting off, our attitude, our intention, our why it matters, our purpose. It starts with us. Sometimes we feel like we may not be in control of the things happening in our lives, but the thing is, a lot of it's actually in our control because we're attracting this kind of person, or we're attracting certain lessons again and again because we're not learning the freaking lesson. Been there many times where it's taken like 3-4 times for me to finally like click, like, oh my gosh, that's why that keeps happening in everything I'm doing, because I'm not learning the lesson. Sometimes it takes someone else acknowledging the lesson to show you like, hey, I'm going to hold this mirror up, right? Not literally mirror, but I'm going to be the reflection for you and share this with you, like what you're actually saying and what's actually happening, so you can kind of understand, right? I have a good friend of mine that I love so much, and we met through a coaching program years ago. Love her to the pieces, and she's taught me so much because she's from like the whole other side of the country, and just cultures are different, and she's taught me so much. But aside from that, I want to share, like, she is always that beautiful mirror for me. She'll be like, hey, gal, this is actually, this is what you're saying. Do you hear yourself? Or, hey, gal, did you realize that you manifested that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. So it's so important to have people in your life who can be that mirror for you, or to reflect back to you what you're saying, what you're doing, the experiences that are happening in your life, for you to be like, OMG, like, I freaking get it now. Okay. The other thing I want to dive in a little bit and talk about is everything that we're doing, anything, every day, on what we're doing, the people we encounter, right? Maybe it's walking your dog and you get to encounter. Your beautiful smile can light that person up. And don't get me wrong, I get it. Some days you may not want to talk to somebody. Some days you may not be in a good, high vibrational mood. That is okay. We are human. But guess what? If you make eye contact with someone and they smile at you, and you're going to naturally smile back at them and they're vibing higher, you're going to slightly start to vibe higher too. So you don't always have to be the one giving. Sometimes you are the one who needs to receive, because you're not 100% in an awesome place or mood. As positive as I have the attention to be all the time, some days I'm not in a good mood too. In some moments, and some things happen. We're living a human life. We are having a human experience where sometimes it's some crappy stuff that happens, and you're not going to be all jolly and like, this is great in the moment of it happening. And that is okay. That's why it's important to surround ourselves with people who can help lift us up and be like, hey, it's all right. It's going to be okay. Let yourself process what happened to you too. And then later you'll be able to reflect yourself and see, okay, I see the lesson now. I see why that didn't work out for me. But when we're going through things and they're riding through the waves of emotions in life, it's not always that simple. It's just like, we get angry, we get sad, we get upset, we get happy, or we are happy, and enjoy all of that. Sometimes it feels like you're on this wild roller coaster ride, right? Where you're just strapped in tight and you're just trying to hold on for dear life and get through life, but it doesn't always have to be that way. It's all about how you look at things and your perspective, and having people to talk to help you work through the emotions. Things are not always as bad as they seem, and sometimes it can feel that they are, but they're not. They're really not. It's just in the moment we may go down a rabbit hole and we may take ourselves deep down, and then it's like we create our own suffering sometimes, and when we don't intend to. So I use the example of walking and smiling at someone, running, you're out and about, or going to the grocery store. The example that I want to share that's happened to me recently twice, which is so beautiful, is I became friends with like two strangers at the park where I like to take my dog to walking. One guy, he was like, I would run and then I'll take my dog for a walk. And I give him big kudos. It would be like cold and, I'm like out here like crazy person running, or it's like windy or rainy, or it's really hot and he's out and about. And I just like felt, we always smiled at each other, never knew each other's name. And this happened for like weeks and months. And I was just like, I just felt so calm one day. I took out my headphones and I said, you know what? I just want to tell you that I'm out here in the cold, or I'm out here in the rain, or it's hot, and you're out here too. I think that you're doing an amazing job. Like, keep it up. Like, no one else is out, especially when the weather is crappy, and he and I are the ones that are out there. And I just thought it was just such a beautiful thing, and I really wanted to share that with him. So when people are doing well, tell them, whether you know them or not, especially if you keep seeing them again and again. I was like, okay, there is a lesson here. The universe is placing this person literally the same time, right? A couple of days of the week for weeks and months. There's something to this, and follow your gut, follow your intuition. I felt called to share with him how proud I was of him, and I didn't know him, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point. And he was like, thank you so much. I'm really trying hard to get healthier and lose weight. And I was like, I feel you. Like, I'm trying to maintain, and it's like a struggle bus, like being someone who was a lot heavier at one time, 50 plus pounds, and it was a struggle to lose that weight, and it's a struggle to maintain. Sometimes when you go up and down, it feels like a freaking yo-yo some days. But as long as you have the attention to still show up and try to improve, no matter what, that freaking counts, and that matters so much. But fast forward months later, right, I ended up running into him again, and he was driving though, because I this car stopped, and I was like, oh, this is weird. Maybe this person needs directions, right? I'm walking with my pup. And he's like, hey, but he doesn't know my name because we've actually never exchanged names. And I was like, oh my gosh, hey, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a little bit. But he told me that when he got a gym membership because he started swimming to help his joints and stuff. And I just love it so much when people start sharing their life with me. And I'm like, I'm all yours. I'm all ears. Give it to me, And he was sharing that with me. And then I was like, you know what is your name by chance? So he told me his name, and I still remember till this day that, like, I haven't seen him in a little bit, but I think there was something to, seeing him consistently. It was just such a beautiful thing. And I'm sharing that story because you can impact someone you don't even know. Like, I didn't know him. He lives in the neighborhood, like a couple of streets away, but I never knew who he was or anything like that. And I just thought it was so cool, and something so simple that was freaking priceless, to just be a kind person, and you get to impact someone's life, right? So same thing in your life. Think about it. Is there things that you done, or certain people, maybe a coworker or friend, that, it didn't really take much, just be listening ear, or, like be impacting someone's life doesn't always mean it has to cost anything. That's the thought that just came in my mind that I really want to share. I used to think, like, if I'm going to do something for someone, it's going to, like, it needs to be worth something, like a valuable item. But that is not true, because you know what? Your energy, your time talking to someone and acknowledging them means so much. It doesn't always have to tie to an item. And that was a mindset shift and block that I had to work through with my own mentors. And when I started to realize that, I was like, oh my gosh, we get to impact other people's lives by being kind. We get to impact other people by giving them the time of day. Like, our time means so much. It doesn't always have to equate to dollars. It doesn't always have to equate to materialistic things. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to share another quick story at the park as well. Fast forward months later from when I met the first gentleman, and he was just, sweetheart. And then I was out again, my own business, walking my pup, and this guy was playing basketball. He was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. I was like, oh, don't touch him, like, I just sometimes get nervous, like how my pup's going to react to other people. So long story short, anyways. So I seen this guy multiple times, and we just say hi, whatever, like, hope you're doing well. I don't know his name. Same kind of scenario-ish, and I just like do my own thing. And then a couple of times later, we start talking, and I'm like, what is your name by chance? So he told me his name, and I was like, okay, Gal, remember his name. Remember his name. Can we see him again? Right? Because I feel it's really important to remember people's names. And like, names are not the easiest thing for me. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, I associate something with a person so I can remember them, unless they're like a really close friend, or been in my life for a long time. That like I like can't just easily remember names for whatever reason. Because side note, I've done this presentation years ago at a previous job where I ended up meeting like 50 people, and I could not remember all of their names. Like, I've spoken to them on the phone and everything, but I never met them or seen their picture or anything like that. So without their name tag, your girl will be on the struggle bus. So anyway, so I ended up learning this guy's name, and I ran to him again the next time. I need to remember my name. So I was like, oh crap, Ola. I hope I remember his name. So I was like, think. So I did remember his name, which is awesome. And I ended up finding out, we had this conversation just like at the park randomly. Like, we had similarities and personal development conversation, and you know me, that's right up my alley. So I'm sharing this because you never know a new friend that you can meet, or how you can impact someone's life that you don't know, but also impact people's lives that you do know, right? Go out into the world with an open mind, open heart, and good intentions, right? And so the point of this episode and what I want to stress is, anything and everything we do, we can impact other people's lives. That in return impacts our lives. You see how that works? The energy we give out is the energy that we receive back in return. We're kind to people, we're good at people, and kind things happen to us as well. It doesn't mean it's going to happen instantly. That would be amazing. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way. But remember that, right? And if you are someone who vibes lower, see what you can do to start increase your vibration, dancing, seeking help if you need to talk to someone, right? A friend recently told me that he started, talking to a therapist, and I was so proud of him because he's been going through some stuff and trying to figure out on his own. But people have to make decisions to seek help when they're ready. You can't force anyone to do anything, but you can be there for them, hear them out, and help them in the way that they need. They will tell you, trust me, trust and believe, when they're ready, they will tell you, and you can be a good friend and a good person, a good colleague, good coworker, right? A good spouse, good partner, you name it, whatever, a good parent, and show up with intention and be kind to people. I love, I'm like giggling because I love doing like my own little dance parties, because that naturally is going to raise your vibrations and you feel good, right? And also be mindful of the music that you listen to. If you're listening to really sad, angry music, it's gonna make you feel that way. You're gonna absorb that energy and you're gonna feel sad, angry, and it's gonna lower your vibration. Let's just do fun music and listen to the lyrics, to music that has like good vibes in their lyrics, right? Sometimes we just listen and we're like, whatever. I used to do that, but now I'm like I was removing songs from my playlist, legit, because I was like, some of these songs bring me down. I don't want to be down. I want to be at higher vibration. So I start removing songs and listening to music that make me feel good, right? Even when I'm running, like, I want to listen to music that makes me feel good. I'm going to jam out. Or I like to walk with no headphones so I can just take in nature and the birds and the squirrels and whatever's around, hearing the trees rustle in the wind kind of thing. It's so peaceful. If like that sounds like, what? Give it a try. Trust me, you will like, if you take a moment, start to take moments in your life and just soak in everything in front of you and appreciate what you have today, right now. And life will slowly start to fall in alignment for you. Life is supposed to be like easier than you think, right? Things are in flow. Things just are gonna come easier. You start to meet the right people. That's maybe somebody that's introduced you to someone else that's gonna end up having to have a job opening or something, and you're gonna end up there. Or somebody who's going to open doors for a new opportunity for you. And that thought came up for me because I was just offered a new opportunity or for something for me to do later this year to help out and give back. And oh, so exciting, right? It's like things just start to happen for you when you're in flow and when you're in alignment, and you start to let go of so much control. All right. I hope you found this episode helpful. reach out to me, share your stories with me, anything that you've had encounter, and you're like, oh my gosh, like that was so cool, I impacted this person. Like, I would love to hear it. Send me an email at lifecoach@galperino.com. If you want to learn more about me or want to work with me or book a session or anything, feel free to check out my website, www.galperino.com. I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. I can't wait to jump back in with another episode coming soon next week. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, share this with your friends, family, anyone you feel called to, coworkers, baby mamas, whoever, and might find this episode helpful. I love you so much. Continue to show up for yourself, and I'm so proud of you for being here to help yourself level up on this journey we call life. Everything is energy. Remember that. Everything, as in all the items around us, all the people, all the trees, anything, everything is energy. And we're absorbing all of it, so super important to see what kind of environment you're surrounding yourself around. I'll catch you soon. I love you so much. If you have any questions or any topics you want me to cover, feel free to send me an email and let's freaking do it. So if you want to collaborate, send me an email as well and we can make it happen. I will see you soon. Take care. Love ya.